Good morning. Yes, I am still hoarse, but hopefully it won't be too bad and you guys can still hear me and understand me. But yes, I am still hoarse. How are you guys doing this morning? There was none in the beginning, but there should be some now. I didn't have a banner, but y'all know I kind of always start with mic muted. All right. Back at it again with these oversized prints. And sorry. We're going to talk about the stressors of this today. Don't get me wrong. I like sublimation. There are a lot of benefits to sublimation, but there are also limitations. And sometimes we have to learn what our limitations are and what we do, accept those, and hold on, be okay with saying no sometimes. I see a lot of people who always say, like, don't leave money on the table. You have to learn how to do this. You have to learn how to do that. Because your clients may want this, they may want that, which is true. But if you're not able to, where it's going to be profitable for you and less stressful for you, then don't do it. This order, like, I've done these before. And when it's like one or two, it's okay. But when you have to do a bunch of them and then certain things go wrong, and trying to do this where it's printed out in sections, it's like so many unknown variables when you're trying to press in sections. Well, print in sections. And so many different things can go wrong. So many different things. And is it okay for like something maybe for you, personal, last minute things? Yes. But don't make it where it's like your main business. This right here and doing this in sections is no way to do or to have a business doing sublimation. Let your main focus of whatever you're doing be what you can do, like seriously do within your means of like whatever equipment you have, whatever printer you have. But doing this is stressful. Sublimation can be stressful in of itself because there are so many variables between printing it out. Then you have to make sure that your heat press is outputting the right heat, it's the right amount of pressure, the right time, the right substrate. There's a lot of stressors when it comes to sublimation. It can be very rewarding. Don't get me wrong. It can be very, very, very rewarding. And it's amazing once you press it and you see what comes out of it. But it can be stressful. And my advice is to try not to add unnecessary stress to yourself. This is something that takes a long time to do. If you are somebody who is not going to price accordingly, like doing stuff like this in custom designs, if you are afraid to charge for that design, even as a newbie, it's going to be a lot stressful. It might take a little bit longer to get certain things done because you are a newbie. So as a newbie, yeah, it's going to take a while. But even as somebody who knows how to do this takes time to be able to design, to get all of these pictures. And what the hell happened there? Oh my gosh. To get these pictures and modify them. Oh my God. There's a blue line going down the middle that's stressing me out. And then it's like, this is why people say, don't let people bring things to you, because once it messes up, it's kind of messed up. I mean, it looks great, but there is like, I don't know, where it overlapped for some reason, it goes to probably because I use the thinner tape, but so I can see the blue from the other side. That's why I also don't want a lot of bleed on it. But yeah. And I forgot to clean my rollers. But modifying all of these images, getting them uploaded and all of those things, downloading them, putting them in a different program, editing them. Like, it can be a lot when it comes to this. So make sure that you guys are pricing accordingly. Don't shortchange yourself, even as a veteran. Doing all of the design for this, with all of the pictures, setting it up, setting up the background, like from scratch. With me being sick, it was about 4-5 hours between the vest, front and back, a totally different design, and a skirt for a different person. So it's a long time when it comes to designing. So if that's not your area of expertise, outsource it. Stop letting these groups make you feel like you have to know how to do everything. It's not you losing profit. You're keeping your sanity and being stress-free when you go and you buy a file, or you have a designer, you have a graphic designer that can set it up for you, then you can just go and print it out. You charge for that. Maybe going with a graphic designer will help you now realize how much you need to charge if you're going to design yourself, or once you actually start designing. Whatever that graphic designer is charging you for it, it's not that you're losing. You charge the customer that. Because this is a part of the process. Just printing it out, just pressing it is not the end. Like, that's not all that it takes to do this. It's a lot of steps to this. And it makes no sense for you to be stressed in your business. It's going to make it to where you can get sick. I'm not one that normally gets sick. I really don't get sick a lot. But because I've been stressed, it's making my body where I'm able to easily get sick, because there's been so many different stressors over the past couple of weeks. And staying up all night to finish something, when you have all these prints that go wrong, one print is good, the other print isn't good. Like, I mean, it's just so many stressful things when it comes to this. I'm like, my goal is not to scare anyone when it comes to this. Like I said, if you stick within what your equipment can do, it is very rewarding. But when you venture off into trying to do things that your equipment is not made to do, you're going to lose money. Point blank and period. You start to do these larger jobs and you get tired, you get stressed, you end up missing little things like I completely forgot to clean my rollers. I like the ability to do this like every once in a while, maybe like for personal stuff, just to kind of help with like skills. But this is not something that I would ever build my business around with, oh yeah, I can do all over shirts. Like, I'm pissed. Like, this is something where this is not a cheap item. Like, this is something that's like, this is a custom item. And with this, someone would expect it to be flawless and to be perfect. And there are some flaws within this because it's pieced together. So I can't charge like top dollar for this. Whereas if I was doing this with a large format printer, it would be totally different. Not having those imperfections, like pressing it in sections is nothing. Printing it in sections is where the imperfections come in at. Some people ask, should I invest in a big printer or a bigger press first? Always invest in the bigger press first. I mean, especially if you're using honestly speaking paper, oops, you'll be able to press it in less time. So, hold on. Oh, my eyeball. Dust just flew in my eyeball. Hold on. Yep. I guess I had too much overlap. There's a blue line there. But it's like little imperfections like that, you know, when you're telling your client that you can do these things, they're not expecting those imperfections. Like, they're expecting it to be flawless, especially if you're charging them top dollar. So be very honest with your customers and what imperfections there can be so that they understand. And be honest with yourself and the capabilities of your equipment. His head is going to get cut off when she stitches this. Dang it. I should have gone. Well, and then that was the other thing too. The darn template with creating this custom template. Ah, I see what I messed up at. I didn't see. And I was tired. I didn't. And my client probably won't even recognize that, but it drives me nuts. And then I forgot to fully edit that part out and remove the background in that area. All right, this one is going to take a lot of presses. Actually, I'm not going to lie, this one, I am so afraid of this messing up. I don't have another piece of this fabric. I don't like not having, like, being so stressed. When you're doing cut and sew, normally the cut part is done after you press it, not before. But this was given to me because I'm not the person that does the pattern. This part is stressful. This is like one shot at this. In order for this to be done, you know, to get this done right. And this is going to be several presses, and I have a very small area that I'm working in. Oh gosh. And I tell y'all right now, I am petrified of this messing up. This is why I taped it down so much, because I am petrified of this messing up. Words do not begin to express how scared I am of this messing up. And this is only adding to my stress level, because I don't have this fabric. I don't have this pattern. And then if I had to print this over again, like this is a print that is, what is it? 48 inches long. So imagine doing 3 of those to be able to do this. So having to reprint this over again, taping together 3 sections, and then repressing it if it doesn't come out right, that just adds another 2 hours to my day that I did not plan for. So when I say I am stressed about this one, I am stressed. I can't move that. Yes, with all Epson printers, if you're getting the roll paper, you cut it down to the size that you need, up to 47.24 inches long. I agree, we shouldn't shortchange ourselves, and outsourcing does help. When doing a press of this size, how much overlap do you do? I don't know. It's overlap. It does depend on the paper you're using. With my paper, I can overlap and it's not going to mess up the print or burn it or over sublimate, because I'm not pressing at 400 degrees for 60 seconds anyway. I'm pressing at 365 for 30 seconds. So if it goes a little bit over, like it's overlapped, it's not going to be an issue with, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. There's nothing down there. There's nothing down there. It's longer paper, but the vest is before the end part. And then that's the other thing, like making sure that you act like feeling totally confident that you actually hit all of the areas. It's stressful. I'm like, did I even do the middle part? Should I go? Oh, you know what? I don't know. Something about this just seems crazy to me. I'm going to go in a little bit more. I know I pressed this part, and I just feel kind of weird. Let me just press it again. And I tell y'all, I cannot mess up on this one. Oh, and then that was the other thing. Having to pre-press. So, you meant like however many presses I did for this, I had to do the same number of presses to pre-press it so that the paper sticks to it and I don't get ghosting. So it was a lot to get this done. And it shifted. Nothing I can do. Yep. I was missing sections. There's nothing I can do. There is absolutely nothing I can do. And I said that I was so worried I was going to miss sections. This is huge. And it shifted badly. And it missed a whole section right there. Yep, right through there. I don't know what to do at this point. There's nothing I can do at this point. Yeah, do it like this was a lot larger than any of the shirts that I've done. And this just proves that not every situation is the same when it comes to this and doing certain things. Like just because you've done one doesn't mean the next time it's going to be the same way. There's nothing I can do about this. And I'm sorry, like they still have like, and that's the thing too, like you do this and you try your very best for them. They said, that's not the part that I did not get. That's not, you said at the bottom. I overlapped that section. I have no idea why that one, like that wasn't at the bottom. What you were talking about was down here. These are overlapped. For some reason, it's like, it's not even that. It's like the paper must have been open because it's here and here. It would be a bigger gap if that was the case. The middle part got done. I have no idea why this did not press because everything else around it is pressed. What you were referring to was down here. There was nothing down there. But it's like, this is a lot of paper. This is a lot of ink. This is a lot of time. And it's like, I don't know. It's not even like, it's not worth it. I'm telling you guys, it's not worth it to try and do this with, especially like, I mean, if it was just a regular print, I probably would print it over, get some fabric, cut it out. Pressing into sections is like one thing. And then if your space isn't big enough, if I did not have this here, like I'm not about to go and rearrange my office for this and move where I already have a printer. Like I would have to rearrange stuff to make it fit to do it. And it's just not worth it. I didn't miss it, Mom, please, okay? I did not miss it. And you can clearly see it pressed around it. The paper was folded right there because it pressed everything else. I did not miss that part. Something moved on it because this whole part up here shifted. It's like when it's under there and you're doing this in sections, you never know what can happen. This is why also when people are bringing you stuff like this and you are taking on this, you have to have terms and conditions that, you know, it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be imperfections, you know, still having to do it. Now, if it was like a total fail, that would be like one thing, but it's like they're bringing something. That's one thing I teach my students. If you are going to allow a customer to provide you with a substrate and they're only providing one, they must know that you're not perfect. Things happen. If it messes up, the power goes out and it messes with it, messes up the print, you are not responsible. You're not going to replace it. Like when we're buying our own stuff. Why did I cut this like this? When we're buying our own items, we're pricing it where, well, I don't know about y'all. I teach my students to price for mistakes when it comes to their shirts. Never charge like basically exactly what the item costs, like the shirt costs. This is what I teach my students. And so when I'm buying stuff, I'm accounting for mess ups and stuff like that. I've put that inside my pricing. But when they bring something, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You have to have that in your terms and conditions about the fact that you're bringing me something. This is truly custom. I'm not responsible. If something happens, I cannot replace it. And they have to sign off saying that they are accepting their risk. They're not going to come after you. They're not going to do no chargeback. When it comes to them bringing you stuff, there is no payment on delivery. On completion. They need to pay up front. And they will not get anything back. Is it perfect? No. It's a matter of, hey, either you wear it or you don't. But at this point, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm so stressed and I have so much other stuff to do. I cannot afford to redo that. I cannot afford to redo that at all. I don't have the time to redo it. Once I get these set up, I'll look back at the computer. This I can do no problem. This is a no-brainer. All that other craziness drives me insane. Alrighty, let's see. Do I have a video about using Photoshop with Silhouette? Why would you use Photoshop with Silhouette? I use Photoshop to modify things, and then I just bring it into Silhouette Studio as a PNG or a JPEG if I need to bring it in. But I'm not sure what you mean as far as using Photoshop with Silhouette. Oh, I'm going to show you how dark that blue is. And then, of course, how light it prints. And I have another set of these to print. Silhouette Studio shut down on me. I'd rather do 100 of these masks all day long over doing one all over print. Oh, so this is the color before. You see how dark it is, and and then of course, it's not as dark. So it does press brighter. People always mention stuff being dull, but no one ever really talks about the fact that for some colors, it will appear darker on your paper, but press bright. even with doing this, like, I know I said I'd rather do 100 of these. Actually, that was a lie. I don't do bulk orders. A lot of like big bulk orders. I'm not a factory. I mean, yeah, a machine does it. And even though this is only 30 seconds, I'm not a factory. So the time that it takes to like prep all of these, to print them, all the taping and all that stuff, that takes up time. That's, again, working within your limitations and or what you're able to do. I don't do, like, if someone came to me and said they wanted 100 masks, I'm going to turn them away. I don't see it as losing money. I see it as saving my sanity, because the more that you do, it becomes more work. Like, it really, really does become more work. So I don't do bulk orders. When it comes to chip bags, 12 to 15 is my max. That's just too much to keep doing all that over and over again. Only time that I'll do like bulk orders for shirts is if I can use screen print transfers. And it's a matter of me putting it down, press, put it down, press for 7-8 seconds. But like masks and having to tape all of these down and do all this stuff, I'm not going to do it. Like, I am one where I do not mind turning away a client or to say no, because I just don't provide that service. It happened to me yesterday. Someone wanted, they really wanted yard cards, not a yard sign. I don't do yard cards. I'm not going to try and figure it out for you in no 24 hours either. It's okay to say that you don't do something. Businesses have things that they do that they're great at. They have certain services that they provide. McDonald's don't provide brain surgery. They stick to serving food. All right, I got to print 3 more because Silhouette Studio crashed on me. The other ones I printed on the extra part of the vest. Now I have to remember how I had this arranged before it crashed so I can print the other 3. Actually, is it 3 or is it 5? Didn't mean to do that. I don't remember. I'll just do the 3. I forgot how I had these arranged. Because I had all 3 on here. Well, all 6 prints. Ah, there it is. Nope. That's hanging off. How did I have this last one? I don't remember how I had this last one. But I know I had all 6 prints on here. Was it going the opposite direction? No, it can't be because then, wait, I think I did. All right, let's. This last one's going to be stubborn. There we go. Alrighty. No, everything you can't, I mean, how's an infusible ink pen going to fix when it comes to that? That's a design. Is it going to look like a big ink blob? I didn't use butcher paper for this. I had craft paper from Home Depot and parchment paper. But when I do use butcher paper, my butcher paper and my parchment paper both come from Sam's. But you can get it from anywhere. I prefer parchment over butcher from like most applications. I use my butcher whenever I'm doing shirts to take out the line because it's bigger than my heat press. I designed it in Photoshop and was trying to print it from Silhouette. Why would you print it from Silhouette if you designed it in Photoshop? You can print from Photoshop. I pressed some, oh, okay, you're talking about this. Okay. I pressed some leather clipboards yesterday and the bottom edges seem like it's ghosting and not getting pressure. I don't want to keep wasting clipboards. Do you think a pillow will help? I mean, it's not going to hurt to try it. I don't know what those are, how they're made. I don't know what heat press you're using, if you have even pressure on your heat press. So there's so many variables that could affect it. I mean, doesn't hurt to try. Yeah, it sucks messing up blanks, but that's how you learn what works and what doesn't work. I'm happy to have you to learn from and to know that it's okay. To know that it's okay that we're going to make mistakes. Everything is not going to come out right, and how to be professionals when it comes to what we do. You're welcome. I also pressed mouse pads and one corner got covered by tape, so it didn't sub right. Tried to sub on that little area and ended up making a bigger mess. Lesson learned. Yeah, you can't repress it. Do I do contracts with custom orders? Yes and no. It's not necessarily contracts. You want to have terms and conditions. So a contract and terms and conditions are two totally different things. I don't mind doing bulk orders as long as I'm giving proper notice where I can plan my time. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I mean, it works for some people, but if you're pricing it correctly, because if you do a bulk order, most times people want a bulk order at a discounted price. If you priced it correctly and you don't mind giving up that time to process that order, then hey, yeah, it works. But with bulk orders, it normally, like anything where, like, okay, how can I say it? Hold on. I forgot to put paper in there. Anything that, and I guess I can turn the camera to me real quick while that's printing. Hold on. Ooh, Jesus. Again, like I said, if I'm able to do it in a method where it's less work, like for a multicolored shirt, or just like even if it's a single color shirt and it's like weeding vinyl. If I had to weed all that vinyl, you're pretty much going to get charged the same amount. You're not going to get a discount. Most times when people are placing large orders, you guys know this. Oh, they'll ask, well, how much if I do 10? How much if I do 20? How much if I do 50? People are always looking for a discount when it comes to bulk. If your method is the same and you're not saving money by doing it bulk, I'm not going to change my prices for bulk. And I'm not going to do, so like for a bunch of chip bags and all that gluing, like if that's your passion, hey, and that's what your main business is, it's great. Do you? I'm not telling you to not do it. I'm just saying what I do. I don't do bulk, all that gluing and doing and sitting there just doing all those chip bags over and over and over again. and then it's like chip bags and Capri Suns and this, and you want $48.50 of each one of these, and then it's like they probably sold it to them in a bundle or a package. So the number of hours that it takes you to do that, most people, most crafters, which I hate that word, not say hate it, but I'm trying to move to creative. Most creatives aren't charging what they should when it comes to that stuff. So you spend hours and hours and hours, days and days and days. Like you say, give me proper notice, I can plan out my time. I don't want to have to go to where I start on it, I stop. I want to get all your ish done at one time. So if I have to sit there for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours to do it, that's what it's going to take for me to go and to do all that stuff. Designing custom stuff is one thing, and then actually producing it is another. So if I can do a shirt and I can order transfers, I don't have to worry about screen printing them myself. I'm going to order these transfers. They're going to come in. I'm going to press them in 10 seconds. Boom. Put it on there. Boom, boom, boom. I can knock that out. Sublimation, a bulk order, printing that many, unless, like, even if you had a really big printer, you would have to print them, and then you would still have to cut all of those down. That adds to the time. If you just go and print them out, printing that many, you're going to have to wait until all of those are printed out. Well, at least that's how I am before you start. I don't like to go and like print and then like if you're doing like an Epson, you're doing a really big order, and then guess what? Your ink goes out. Now you have to worry about the ink and replacing the ink and going in there. You got to worry about cleaning your rollers. For me personally, it's just not worth it. I rather work on smaller orders and get more of the smaller orders than deal with one major bulk order. But that's just my personal preference. Yes, that particular face mask from Amazon. That's from Amazon. That template I do have available. She said, hell, people looking for a discount with one shirt. So they be looking for a bigger discount for bulk orders. Exactly. Yep, I keep the price the same for large orders as I would for one. If the work is the same, my material cost will not be discounted. So the only thing that will change for me, like if it was like one, they're paying their design fee for one item. So one of the things I teach my students is we have a pricing calculator, and we go over that. And so I'll tell them like how you make your client think that they're getting a discount is their design fee is spread out amongst all of the items. So it appears like, okay, yeah, I took a few cents off, you took a few dollars off, depending on how many it was. But I'm never going to compromise my material costs and my labor. So on my pricing calculator, I account for labor and everything on it. Yes, I know I didn't put it in this one, but in the last video that I did with the mask, when I was doing, I think the 5,000 role models, it's in there. If I'm not mistaken, they should be on my Amazon store, but they're from Amazon. Now I don't know which one this is because there's two. There's the one that has the full ear loop, and then there is the one that has the drawstrings. So I don't know which one this is, but that's one of them. And then here's the other. I don't know, for some reason it didn't post to Facebook, but it's on YouTube. I don't know why it's not posting on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know why it's not posting on Facebook, but it just posted on YouTube. I'll go back in and try and add it to the actual post. All right, so that's done. let's go back over to the heat press. Ooh, just barely. It's like so many people, teach you about sublimation or teach you about oh, you see both on Facebook? I don't know why. It told me there's an error. Thank you, Tara. Y'all go join my girls group. Tara, post your Facebook group. She's another one who's been very helpful for years, and she just got her own group. I don't know what took her so long. But what was I saying? I mean, so many people that will teach you about certain things, but it's the real stuff behind business. Could I go and easily teach on EIN and LLCs? There's so many people doing that stuff, but are they giving you the real about running this type of business? Understanding that what's built into your prices, yeah, it's one thing to go and just print all this out. Imagine if I had to do a bunch of these and had to cut them out. You're going to have a lot of people where, now the first ones, I had to cut those out individually because they were scattered, because they were just put anywhere on empty space on the other one. But with this one, I'm not going to cut these down individually. Imagine if I had 20 of these and having to cut them down individually. I try to strategically place them where I can, try to leave them on there and just press it as just one. It's little things like that and tips and tricks like that that really helps creative businesses. As a creative, you have to learn the things that are going to make your life easier, because not all of us have help when it comes to doing this. You don't have a staff. You're doing a lot of this yourself, by yourself. So you have to figure out ways, take notes, like little things that it may come to you as you're doing it, little things that you can do to help with production of your items. I see so many people wasting time cutting down their whole design. Like, nobody got time for that. If you don't cut off them edges and put that darn paper on that shirt and press, you taking up time. When it comes to being a creative, the cliche, time is money, is truly like that is paramount in this business. Like, time is truly money as a creative, because you're working for yourself. You're not, it's not somebody else's money that's, made through shareholders and other means. Like, your bread and butter, your money comes from you and whatever you can produce. The more you can produce, the more money you make. Or you're going to have a high ticket item and you're marketing to high ticket clients. You can't have a high ticket item or service and you're marketing to low budget folk who don't want to pay who don't want to pay that. You have people who will make glitter tumblers or rhinestone tumblers. You have some that they only market to high-end clientele. Same exact cup, same exact stones, not even going to Swarovski and all of those same stones you're using. But because they market to a higher end client who is willing to pay that, like for them, they want to see and know that, hey, I paid $200 for this tumbler. You got a $20 tumbler. I got a $200 tumbler. not knowing it's the exact same dang on thing, but it's about who you market to. So if you're not on a high-end level and you're just like regular folk who want to nickel and dime you, guess what? You better figure out a way to make production faster for you, which I didn't do because like last time, oh, they're on this side. I'm like, I know I pre-cut all my pieces now. Like, where they at? Little things like not doing it as you're processing it, and pre-cutting your pieces ahead of time to where you can just pull and go. It's little things like that that actually help you in what you're doing as a creative. Time is truly money in this business. I find that so many people are worried about the LLC part, the EIN, the resale certificate. And you want to grow and you truly want to work for yourself and you want to have a company, not just a business. Yes, those are things that you're going to have to look into. But you better first learn your actual business. There she goes. And this was my regular sublimation paper. So no different in the quality. This is not tacky. This is the regular fast dry. I'm supposed to give you a discount or do 100 of these. And I got to tape all these down, take all the tape off. I wish I could like just press it and pass this part off to somebody else. All right, I pressed it. Now you take off the tape and throw the trash away. And I'm not about to waste nothing. Ain't nothing on this part, so we're going to go ahead and cut that part off. And set these bad boys up again. I don't have it as an individual template on the site. It is, or I think it is already, or it will be in the template vault. If it's not already, I'll probably go in there today. I have to finish uploading some stuff today. This literally took me out for a whole 24 hours. Now, and if you mean by template, if you mean the design in the background, no, that I don't have. But the shape of it for you to design in, yes. This is not a template. This is a design file. So that I do not have. Because then I would have to create one for like a bunch of different colors. And I ain't doing that right now. I'll probably have it by the time, oh shoot, that's the other way. I'll probably have it by the time graduation season rolls back around. But I don't have it now. Oh, that didn't matter anyway because of how it's positioned. Yeah, because I would have to create it in blues and greens and reds and all of that stuff. And right now, I just don't have the time. Just finding this channel. What is the Facebook group? The link is in the description of this video for both of my Facebook groups. I have SILAHOLICS Anonymous, Silhouette Help, where you can just go and like I do a lot of my stuff live. And I mean, so help from me normally comes live. I'm not one of those creatives and those teachers or instructors that just does videos in my group because I like to help people. I'm always in a bunch of different groups helping. So posting in my group is a great way to be able, to get your questions answered because, of course, it's my group, but others can help as well. So I have a group where, you can mingle and fellowship and get help from like-minded people, but I teach on open platforms. I don't just teach in my Facebook group. So SILAHOLICS Anonymous, Silhouette Help, and then the same one as our product line, Honestly Speaking. Where in the heck? Oh. So just look for that name, just like that, SPINKING, Honestly Speaking. So like this top shape is in this style, as well as okay, where's my other one? There's one with a drawstring ear, which I don't see that bad. I don't know where those went. But there's another style that's like this that I've used, but it has drawstrings, but the face, this part is the same shape. And then I go and put them in my little baggies and call it a day. I was hoping I had some of the baggies in here, but I don't. Oh wait, do I? Hold on. Yep. So multi-purpose for us. These are the same bags that we use for our syringes and needles, and I use them for my mask. You can add a topper or a sticker to it if you would like. If you are adding all that stuff to it, make sure that you are accounting for the plastic, the fact that you have to print out your topper, you got to put the topper on there. All of that is a part of production. It's a part of your pricing. If you want to go and have it look all nice, and you can easily just go and maybe just put like a little sticker here, call it a day. But if you want to go and put all that, put a whole cover on and all of that, please make sure you're charging for that. I personally just put which I need to find a bag that has one on it. I just have a QR code that goes to the website, but I can't find my bag. And I print them on my Rollo. So it's a thermal printer. Labels inexpensive, really, really fast on the Rollo. So I'm not printing it with like an Epson printer that's going to take forever. It's thermal. So I just put a little sticker that goes back. It's a QR code that goes back to the website. I was trying to find one of the bags that had it, but I don't see it. I don't know where it went. All right, I now need to set up the graduation fans. Although what I'm about to ask her is, girl, you want some flags instead? I got some flags here I need to get rid of. Who said you can't do the firmware for a 7720? Stop listening to folks that say that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing a firmware update with the 77, like with any of the Epson printer, cartridge-based printers. It does nothing to your printer, nothing whatsoever. Stop listening to folks that say that, because all they did was listen to somebody else. They've never done it. I've actually done the firmware update, and nothing happens. Epson don't care about y'all using a third party. It ain't gonna make you go by their ink. I promise y'all, Epson don't care. I promise you. Only thing they did with their firmware is to give you the warning to say, hey, you're not using our cartridge right. If something happened, we're going to void your warranty. Okay, you're saying that as a CEO, you put that little disclaimer in there. Most of them customer service reps, they don't care. Okay, look, you say that working? All right, then give me a credit card. We're going to send you another one. Most of them customer service reps do not care. I know people who told the customer service rep they use Sublimation ink. Them reps don't know what Sublimation ink is, and obviously they haven't had a debriefing to say, if somebody called and said they put Sublimation ink in this printer, do not honor it. Epson sells Sublimation ink. So them reps are not thinking about that. It does nothing. Firmware does nothing. And then especially for a 15,000, that's an EcoTank printer. The printer don't know if you have dye ink, pigment ink, Sublimation ink, Hennessy, Pepsi, Sprite. It does not know what you have in that cartridge, in that tank. So it does not matter if you do the firmware or not just because you have Sublimation ink in there. Thank you, Mother. All right, I got to go because I need to do these fans so that I can be done with that part. And for real though, it don't matter. Oh, hey. So there was an issue. I'm going to show you now. It's done. Call me. Let me know where the heck it went. I'm about to work on the fans now. So there's a gap there and there. Sorry, love. I don't know why it moved because I even taped it down. I don't know how it shifted because it was so big. I think because it was scrunched up. So it's a lot better than what it was the other day. A whole lot better. I've coughed up a bunch of phlegm, so it's a whole lot better. All right, I got to go work on the fans for this to be done. Oh, and the tumbler. The tumbler, however, is easy because it's just taking the elements that are already done. I've already done, and then just putting it on within the tumbler template. But I have to go bake my tumbler. Oh no, I have tumblers from Amazon. I won't have to bake my tumblers because I got a set that weren't so great, and I have to bake those. But with the ones I have now, I got some from Amazon, so I'll do a review of those and yeah. So I'll do a review of those tumblers afterwards. But I know for those, for the tumbler, as long as I have that for her by Friday, well, tomorrow night. But I'm going to try and do the fans now. I prefer to do it so she doesn't have to come back twice, but I'm tired. I really, really am. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. It wasn't meant to scare anyone away from sublimation. It's a great option. I mean, there's so many things. It opens up so many doors, and to be able to do stuff so much like easier and faster. But you have to know how to work it to make it work for you and for it not to cause you stress for certain things. Work, like, take it from me. Work within what you're able to do and promise what you are able to do. And know what your limitations are or what could happen so that you can let them know, hey, these are things that may come up. I'm going to try my best to make it be perfect, but they're going to be, with doing this in this manner, with the equipment that I have, there may be some imperfections. If they're not okay with that, they'll decline. But be upfront with your customers. Like, that is how you grow a trustworthy and honest and successful business, is being completely honest and transparent with what you can do. And if you were to take it on, this is what happens, so that all parties know what the risks are and they know if they want to risk their money or not, because they're not going to get it back, So she says, I love subbing. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it opens up so much. Like, you couldn't do, okay, so you could do it, but you can design this, print this out, and press it. Imagine doing this with heat transfer vinyl. So trying to get it to line up right with the edge. If it doesn't line up, you got to go in and cut it. So you're going to either take one that's already blue, or you're going to put blue heat transfer vinyl, put red here, then cut your white, or maybe just cut it out of the blue and let it be the white of the stove. But then you'll never be able to a picture. Or if you do, it's going to look kind of crazy because you're going to have to do a Jet Pro print and cut or glitter HTV. Oh, that might be a way to fix this. That might work. If I put glitter HTV. Yeah, that's a big print though. Same thing like with this side. Could you do this with vinyl? Sure can. They don't make print. I've never seen. Well, no, they do have it on the roll. So they do have Jet Pro 3G on the roll. So you could do it as one big Jet Pro 3G print, but you have to be exact. The one thing with sub is you do a bleed, hey, nothing is there. So subbing does help quite a bit. Like, it makes certain things so much easier. You could do a water slide, but then you have to epoxy and do all of that. Well, hey, you just take this, put it on there, and you press it. Here's another thing. Your designs don't have to be this. They don't have to be a full wrap. They can be this. They can be just bride. If you went to Sublimation to make things easier for you, if you were to take a tumbler, like a regular one, and all you're going to write is bride in vinyl, yes, it could be quicker, but then you have to cut the vinyl, weed the vinyl, put it on there. That can technically come off. Like your client could scrape that off. But sublimation is forever, forever. Take your word bride, print that sucker out, tape it down in a couple spots, press it, or put it in the oven. It's done. It's permanent. Your sublimation tumblers don't have to be completely covered, y'all. Exactly. I mean, and then your other options are like embroidery. But if you're not into embroidery, and then even with embroidering that, it's not a continuous thing. Like most times when people are doing the embroidery for that, they have to constantly move their hoop to those different sections. So you have to hoop it, let it go, move it, rehoop it, let it go. If you don't have a magnetic hoop, you got the traditional ones. That's more and more and more and more and more work. So sublimation does make certain things easier. It's a great compliment to any business, but use it for good. Use it for, like, make it work for you. It's supposed to make your life easier, not harder. I went out and got some of that glitter wrapping paper. Awesome. Yeah, I want to do something else with the glitter wrapping paper. Hello from Texas. How art thou? She says yes, and constantly moving the hoop makes a lot of room for error. Ask me how I know. I don't, and that's the thing about me. Like, it's a blessing and a curse. I don't embroider, but I can probably tell you a lot of beginner things and like mishaps for embroidering. I still research. I still watch videos for certain things. I apply things from other industries into what I do. So when I say the research never, ever, ever stops, it never, ever, ever stops. I don't embroider. I have no desire to embroider at all, but I know like the basics of it. I know that that there's benefits in having a magnetic hoop versus the traditional one. For my girl Alexis, I understand the benefit of floating water soluble pens and like things like that. So I research, I watch the videos. Um, More so probably because like if I ever have to get something embroidered, you're not going to tell me no foolishness because maybe I know. I may not do it, but I know you're not gonna tell me no foolishness. It'll take you. Oh, this is a job that's gonna take you 30,000 hours, baby girl. No, because when Alexis do this type of stuff, it only take her about a good hot 30 minutes, maybe an hour if it was something like this. What's the stitch count? They're gonna look like, wait a minute, why are you asking me about? I know about stitch counts, so I should know. I know about how long it should take. You can be able to tell me. You better charge me $1,000. So this is complicated. Bye, lies you tell. Mm-mm. So I definitely research a lot of different things. Y'all keep asking me about DTF. Could I answer a lot of your questions for DTF? I sure can. People look, oh, she didn't have a DTF printer. How can she? Try from some of these folks and their mistakes. I can tell you a whole lot, but I research. Do I have a desire to do it? No. If I ever did DTF, I'm not converting no printer. Now that's a true conversion. I'm not converting no printer. If I did anything, it would be like if I got a DTG printer and then I put the film to print with that ink and stuff like that to see if that would work. But I'm not going to get just a regular direct to film printer because you got to do too much to keep that moving and rolling. So yes, I do have a Roland that I barely use. It's just a lot. Like the more machines you have, trying to spread your time out between all of them. And I get worried all the time about going in there and something ain't going to work. Because it's been a minute, which I actually need to do today because we are out of stickers. I actually need to print stickers today. Something I had to learn with that. If you're not going to take it to where it's going to go to another cutter and you're needing to laminate, I don't recommend doing long runs on the Roland. unless you want to waste a lot of vinyl behind it so that you can rewind it, and then still have it be stuck and then go through and cut everything. You need a good amount left off at the end, so there's a lot of waste. So I'm learning stuff all the time with that. Like I would never do, because we now have 100 stickers that I have to cut out by hand because we could not get it to reload and get all the way back to the registration mark to read properly. It goes through everything, it gets to that last one, and then it gets stuck and like the thing shifts. So I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen ever, ever, ever again. So I'm gonna do shorter runs of our stickers. It's painful. You would think, okay, yeah, I just want to be able to go and print without certain things. That goes back to that. Without the proper printer, a really big one, and a proper cutter, doing 100 stickers, no ma'am, no ham. That's why people kept saying, oh, are you gonna sell stickers? And so I had a few people. I tried to do a giveaway. People's artwork doesn't come in correctly. Ain't nothing I can do with this. And I don't have time to edit it and fix it. Your artwork needs to come to me ready to print, where all I have to do is just add the cut lines to it. So when certain things come in, they're small, the resolution's low, or it's just a box, or it's that, it'll be hard for me to do the cut lines and stuff. I ain't got time for it. I just can't do it. I don't have the time. Like I was trying to do a giveaway, help folk, but I just couldn't do it because their images were not where they should be. So people keep asking me, well, when are you going to start selling stickers? That's going to be our personal sticker maker for our business. I have decided I just can't right now. Like, I can't. Like, that to me, some people make a business off of it and they do it, but that's their core business. It's not my core. So trying to remember to go over there and then making sure people's artwork is ready to go. No, it's not for me. So I'll do another video talking about that, because so the issue is I don't have VersaWorks on the one that I do videos from, because in order for it to pair to it and to see it, it had to be connected to the machine at some point, because it's not wireless. I'm not going to be able to get my rolling in here to hardwire it in. So it's on my laptop. VersaWorks, you have to remember, is not a design software. It's just for cutting. I set up everything between Silhouette Studio and Illustrator, or Silhouette Studio and Corel Draw. And then I send the ready to print, ready to cut PDF over to VersaWorks, and then just send it to print and then cut. Yes, that's what it's. That's what it mainly. I got it for more so for stickers and like helmet decals and stuff like that. But yes, you can. That's what you need for printing onto HTV. It's an eco solvent printer, not eco tank, eco solvents, because it definitely uses expensive behind cartridges. And I will say this: don't be like me. I wanted it for football stuff, and it looks all great with the metallic. I haven't even figured out how to do the metallic, because you have to put a spot color on there. Don't get metallic ink. Just get the second magenta. All right. But yeah, when I go into the garage to print off stickers, I'll try and do it from in there. My microphones aren't in there, so the audio is always horrible from my laptop. So you'll have to bear with me, because my audio is horrible from my laptop. But when I go in there, I will I'll show you guys, because yeah, it's definitely time for us to print more. Quite a few packages went out without stickers, but I also want to change the website that's on the sticker, because right now it says shop, and it'll just make it a lot easier if it just says hsync365.com. So yeah, I gotta change that too. All right, let me go. So I can get some work done. I got a lot of work to do between sleeping Saturday because I was sick, and then this project all day yesterday. I am 3 days behind. So yeah, it was only 2 days, but I feel like I'm 3 days behind right now. All right, y'all. I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. and fall in love with sublimation and be incredible.